I'm here with Derby Telegraph Chief Football Writer Steve Nicholson to talk about latest Derby County news. Stephen Warnock has today left the Rams on loan for Wigan Athletic. What are your thoughts on the move?
Yeah, I'm not totally surprised. Stephen's not been featuring in the squad recently, and at 34, he needs to be playing football. He's out of contract at Derby at the end of the season, so he really needs to be looking at his next move. It's clear that Marcus Olsen, when he came in January, it's clear that he was the future, if you like, at left back, especially with Craig Forsyth being out as well. So yeah, not totally surprised. It does show you how quickly football changes. You know, I think only 5 weeks ago, Stephen was wearing the captain's armband. He made 16 consecutive starts. He was arguably one of Derby County's most consistent performers when they were going through a really bad patch early in the new year. So football can be harsh at times. You know, I thought it was harsh that he lost his place because I thought he was doing well. As Olsen has come in, I thought he was a bit jittery 1 or 2 games early on, but to be fair to him, he's settling down now nicely. So he's doing well. So, Darren Wassell believes that by allowing Stephen Warnock to go out, it will help him to find another club. And he also feels he's got cover at left back. Now, Forsyth is out, as we know, for the season. Max Lowe is as well. So there's a bit of a concern there, but Darren Wassell tells me that Bradley Johnson has played left back before, and Jamie Hansen can also fill in at left back as well. There's also a recall on Stephen Warnock after 28 days, so they could get him back if need be. So, as I say, the big surprise is how quickly things can change in football. And that tells you a lot about football.
Chris Martin has been backing the goals in recent games for the Rams. What's he said about his recent form?
Yeah, I had a picture of Chris on the back today here. Scored a goal, good header against Huddersfield. 3 goals in 4 games now. I've always backed Chris. When he's going through a very lean spell in front of goal earlier this season, I was saying that this lad is key to the way Derby play. When he plays well, Derby play well. I've never been any doubts about that. It was good talking to him today. He analysed his own performances very closely. He's wondering, was he making the right runs? Was he in the right positions as a striker? These days, there's no escaping your performance because every detail is analysed by the video people and the clips are shown to the players. But Chris looked at everything he was doing. He got advice from Kevin Phillips, the coach at Derby now. He was a prolific scorer himself. And it's good to see Chris back in the goals, as I say, because that's a very important factor going into the running of the season. Top scorer last 2 seasons, still the top scorer this season with 12 goals, and I wouldn't back against him getting more.
And Rams are back in action on Tuesday night, making the trip to Queen's Park Rangers. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, every time we mention Queen's Park Rangers, of course, we go back to the playoff final, but that was then. This is very much now. Queen's Park Rangers are rebuilding to an extent under Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. They lost at MK Dons at the weekend. He won't be happy about that, knowing Jimmy. He certainly won't be happy. So we could expect some kind of reaction tomorrow night. Derby, they go into the game again. There might be a bit of banter between the fans before and after and during this game because of the playoff final, but this is a completely different game now. 2 very different teams, and for Derby, it's another huge game. They've got to keep this. They've got 3 wins in the last 4. They need to keep putting points on the board at the moment because they've got a bit of catch up to do. But as I keep saying, and as Chris Martin said today, they've never been out of the promotion race. They've never dropped out of the top 6. So actually, they're still in there. And this week, they've got Queen's Park Rangers away, Rotherham away. If they can add more points, 6 would be perfect, 4 would be very nice. But they've got to keep adding the points to their tally.